I feel like it's the same shit, different toilet. People are trying to loot for themselves first before they can think about the voter out there.
Millennials would actually vote for change right now. Problem is, like, we're trying to pick between two lesser evils.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone complains about the current crop of politicians.
Right.
Like, who are you going to vote for? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
front yourself.
Yeah. Historically speaking, and in the society we live in, women tend not to be voted into those positions. But whether
women vote for themselves also?
Exactly.
What do you mean?
who,
Like if we talk about Kenya, and I think women should be slightly
really
more.
the bigger issue is that there's a patriarchal and sexist society that even in America, people would rather vote for Donald Trump than vote for someone who's suitable for office.
If you champion one person and support one person, you guys could like make it, and
And
then
that
you would
was my
inspire
point.
us to like support you guys. Because if that would be a system, someone who is qualified, someone who is different, someone who has changed.
Kenyans do have a common ground.
That's what I'm asking.
What
What
is
is the
What is
common ground?
The abject poverty that we're going through right now.
Droughts.
Yes.
But we're not even going through
Corruption.
abject
Are
poverty.
you
Yeah, because
We're not.
Yeah, we're not. The real people are outside of the city.
The 60%. There's
Yeah.
you know, there's a 40-60. You are probably in the 40, in the 40 quarter. There's
Yeah.
60
Yeah.
are the ones who are like,
who
you
are
know.
really biting back?
But I
So
was-
now
Feel the bite.
I feel like the pulling in of the 60 into, you know, like empowerment. If you empower people,
Make them believe that
lose
they
power.
can.
You lose power.
you lose
Yeah.
power.
You're sharing
That's
power.
why. That's why. Like, you know, every time I go like out of Nairobi, maybe to Narok, Kajiado, wherever, and I see Masais in their shukas, I always feel like,
One over this guys.
yeah, you know, like these guys want to keep them in their shukas.
Yeah.
Fine, it looks good and everything for culture and everything, but they want to keep them in their shukas. It's a form of deterrence. It's poverty politics. But think about it: the person in a shuka in Kajiado is the same person. Next tomorrow is going to be told to picket about land issues, which he does not even understand. You'll be told this is your land.
Yeah.
But the person who's telling you to picket about land, it's community land. He's the one who's holding the title deed.
Yeah.
You are just
You
a
don't even
guest,
know.
and it's supposed
Yeah.
to be part of you.
But so
because I
that's
feel
where
like it's a
education comes in.
I feel it's like a representation of how much stifling and everything has been. You know, like you're not empowered enough. You feel like if you empower me, I'll wear a shuka. It's okay.
Yeah.
But you feel like you're not empowered, but at the same time you're still a shuka.
You're still in a shuka, still
And
in a reserve.
these guys want you to stay that way. They want you to stay that way.
Because they don't want you to know that.
It's a status quo. They want you. It's poverty politics. That's why people in Kibera always vote for the same person.
Yeah.
For the past
Always.
30 years.
Yeah.
And our K
Even
being
if
paid 200
and they
bucks
would.
to them.
But
Yeah.
as soon as this person moves from that bracket to the next bracket, it's going to be like, oh my. That's what.
It's a different world.
Yeah, that's why people who are empowered can sit on the same table. All of us can sit at the same table. Different tribes.
Right.
Because we.
We have something in common. We have that
Stomach
same
is
five
full, you're
partners.
good.
Stomach is full, you're good.
Is that
You can move on.
couldn't that be an individual problem though? Couldn't I just go and actually say, okay, my people have been doing this for so long, then let me choose to be different and see if I'll get a different view and a different journey. So I'll find a way to support myself to go to school. I'll find a way to learn about the society, how maybe I can improve like my the farming, how I farm to get better, how I can also bring on other people within the area that I'm living. Isn't it sometimes also an individual
I think
thing?
it starts with the individual.
Because
But
as
it's-
much as and sometimes you can be defeated because of money, but at the end of the day, there's other ways of how you can develop yourself.
But if you don't know, you've been told. So, for instance, I was reading the paper yesterday. They said 94% of women in the northeastern districts are illiterate.
Okay.
94% of women in the central area districts are literate. So that, like, just that literacy alone changes completely what happens to your life and everything. So there's that thing about, yes, you can self-empower, but if you don't even know, you can self-empower.
Self-empowered.
Yeah, you know?
nothing else.
The good thing is right now I think they're changing the education system. If they put this in schools, because we didn't get this from school. This is something that you get out, then your dad is like, hey, you know, this time you're going to vote. There's pictures of the guys, the candidates they're supporting there. And then maybe when you go out with your friends, you're like, hey, you guys, do you know any? Because me, you know, if I ask my friends, like people are going to elections, do you know what's the new party? Jubilee's manifestation, nothing. There's a new one called NASA. NASA's manifesto, nothing. No one knows. Like these people, what's it called? We have been detached from what is really affecting us because it's like we just the leaders are gonna get voted on and then we're not gonna suffer. But like 10 years down the line, you see people have embezzled a lot of money, like youth projects and NYS down the drain. SGR here, SGR is gonna be a petrol engine, man. And we're getting like overtaken because of greed and corruption and people like being very ignorant about issues that are affecting them. So if we get like the civic education up, then everyone could be up with it. Then elect people because of like the quality.
What's the Kenya you'd like to see in 5 years' time?
That's like a wish, but let's dream. Yeah, let's dreams are valid. So for me, I'd like to see a country whereby people vote. I'm voting for you because you're bringing something to the table, and because I know that if I vote for you, you'll keep all the promises that you like told me as the voter when I was deciding to vote for you. I would like to see a Kenya whereby a politician cares about the people who actually put him in power there. A politician who, you know, will put his people first before himself or his family or, you know, people of his tribe. Yes, a country whereby you can walk around freely and get a job somewhere randomly, just randomly, without actually having to know anybody. So that's the Kenya I would dream and sleep and wish we would have.
Vision 2020.
2080.
She's hit the nail on the head, but just an honest political class.
Yeah.
Let's not lie to ourselves. Corruption happens everywhere. The
Yeah.
difference is here we eat
It's
95
audible.
and then
Yeah.
use 5 to develop.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that's why corruption has been a big thing for the last 10 or so years.
Right.
Because you're not, like, even the basics are not being done. So, like, okay,
Like
bro,
you guys.
like, get serious, you know.
Just stealing 90% of the capital. 90% of the capital is disappearing.
How even
Yeah, only
supposed to
10%
move
can be accounted for.
Yeah.
Kenya would like to see is 3 basic things. 1, access to housing. 2, access to food and water. 3, access to healthcare.
Basic.
Those are not fucking, those are
Education.
not things at this point in time we should be
should be a
having
problem.
conversations about.
Yeah.
We're the most prosperous economy in Eastern Africa, one of the strongest economies in all of Africa. We cannot provide for those 3 basic things, which is a tragedy.
You see now,
It's a shame.
we're even playing hunger politics now, man. Like for real, people will be at the podium talking about hunger and like, "Hii serikali is why?" Just
Why
stop
should we even
politicizing.
talk
Look for
about
solution.
food? Yeah.
Look for solution. You know, that's the same thing with poverty politics. It's hunger politics. It's gender politics. It's tribal politics. It's non-issue oriented politics.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything else but the main issue. Yeah.
Okay, what's your idea of a ideal Kenya 5 years from now?
5 years from now. Legalize marijuana.
You know what? It's your Kenyans. You create what you want. Go on.
Yeah, you should sponsor us on that. Like whatever, but like basically what she said. We need to be electing people on behalf of merit. Like people who deserve to be there, put them in power. Nothing more than like tribes and everything. But slowly we'll get to that. But if everyone gets education, like the way you're saying, people can read, people can write, people can eat, people can live, and people can move freely. It'll even be good for like trade in our country, like within, because we have so much barren land. Like I realized the map of Kenya, like where places that have population, very dense population, are like close to the cities, and we have so much barren land that could be put to Algeria use, and we could even like supersede Tanzania in terms, because there was a place I was in, what's it called? There was they were talking about potatoes. Like, you know, they are actually thinking of importing like potatoes from Tanzania because our farmers cannot like keep the supply consistent. And the demand is so high in our country, but we have to go and outsource potatoes from another country. Doesn't make
how
sense.
to do that for ourselves.
Man, people are going to agriculture schools here. They should like be given this money that is being embezzled so they could like what's it called? Invest in new innovate ways where they could like give food. Yeah, drought is killing us, and we have so many rivers here. We have education. Like people are competent enough to like look for solutions instead of the way you're saying like using it as a campaign strategy now. But what are we gonna do?
Your ideal Kenya?
I'd like to see better education systems put in, because education for me is something of importance, and I feel like if I empower my grandma to know the basics, then I don't need to worry about her because she'll be good. Yeah. And not to just focus on the cities that are the main source. I like what they're doing right now, which is making sure that every town has everything they need so that they don't have to come to the cities. So that, I think that should continue. Healthcare, better healthcare systems, because that's a really, really big issue. And I think there's money in this country, and I feel one thing should change is that we shouldn't have to leave Kenya to get anything where it's all here. We don't need to leave to see better places to visit. We don't need to leave to get better education. I don't need to go to India, South Africa, US, UK to get my health fixed. Where what we have here should be advanced to be better quality. And I think it's that thing of the money, when the money they say they'll put this for healthcare or they'll put for this for education, but it doesn't get implemented. And that's why if I can afford, I will pay for my child to go and study in university in UK, because I feel that they can't get the education that they need here. So I think also the thing that has been implemented where they're trying to make sure that people who are going to university are of a certain standard. I think that's a good thing. And but for me, the education thing, just educating people, especially outside of the city that don't have access, because then they can stand on their own 2 feet, you know?
I feel like, and I think that we need to sort out our healthcare, universal healthcare. That's for starters. We need a healthy nation. Second of all, we need a nation that's well-fed. Leave education even out of this. We need a nation that's well-fed. We need people to stop dying out of hunger, because this cycle has become, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. We are still, like we predict this thing, it happens.
And it still sits and let it happen. Yeah.
After they don't have electricity, but just people have water.
Food,
Feed
man.
people, like prioritize food.
Yeah.
Next off, I want people to be educated. And fourthly, people in this country need to tolerate each other.
Yeah. There's lack of that tolerance.
We remember the doctrine of peace, love, and unity. That's
It used to be us.
it used to be us, new philosophy. It used to
Yeah,
have
peace, love, and unity.
People need
Yeah.
to tolerate each other as much as you have different opinions and you come from, I don't know, where.
Yeah.
We need to tolerate each other and you need to understand every other person. Like, put yourself in the other person's shoe. A bit of apathy.
And then another point is, let's stop politicizing things that have nothing to do with politics. Like this whole health situation whereby you have to imprison doctors and people are stealing from us, corruption, and they're not even in prison for a day. Come on now, that's
change.
off. Yeah.
And the freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know, we need to know the truth. Yeah. Transparency, I think, should be better within the government. Like, you know, corruption here is not as transparent. I remember, like in UK, there were some ministers that had been, you know, taking money here and there, and it got found out, and every single one of them had to leave because everything got found out, and that does not happen here. I still stay in power.
And
Remember
accountability.
about the chicken gates?
Scandal.
The UK side of the people were arrested. The Kenyan side, which is a clear transaction. These guys give these guys a bribe.
Yeah.
These guys will give a bribe in their country. Then
They go slate free.
These guys who receive a bribe in Kenya, they're
Stay in power.
still masquerading as Kenyans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
So.
Yeah.
There's not enough goodwill fighting corruption. For me, that's what I feel.
Yeah.
And I hope the guy who's been the chairman, the current Wabukala, I hope like he's going to come with some grit. He's going to bite now, because I hope he's
Is that the anti-corruption guy?
the new chairman. I hope he comes in and
That's
does something.
in the last 3 years, how many ESCC chairmans have we had?
But this is a man of the clock. We hope for the best.
We believe in him.
Wait, on a lighter note, I was reading an article about some woman who was married for 20 plus years who left her husband because she found out he voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that?
thing,
Is that
yeah.
excessive? Is politics that serious?
My
Is your-
sister's just tired.
That way out. She was like,
She was waiting for the guy to jump in. Trump's not doing it.
you know what? This is the excuse.
I'm out.
I know you guys would say was one
But I
about for Trump.
Real
Life effects.
You're
Number one,
giving
you're
me the
saying you're
closest
homophobic, you're saying you're sexist, you're bigoted, you're misogynistic, you're
I still
all
love
of
you,
those
boo-boo.
things. You clearly don't.
Wait. Maybe he voted for Trump. Maybe on some other, maybe business sided.
But the point is you supported all those things.
Yeah.
Because politics is
It depends
personal.
on
Yeah.
the individual.
So for you, it would affect you.
I will
Regardless-
break up with you or not date you because of your political leanings.
If it's a deal breaker for you, it can happen. I think it depends on the two individuals coming together. If it's so important and you're not in one accord, and then you're gonna raise a family together, so you're gonna have mini organizations from you guys getting together, and you're not in one accord, I think it can affect, but it depends on how strong you are in terms of your political views.